Derek Delboy Chisora has given your boy the landlord some good advice. Now, the title reads here, Derek Chisora reveals die-trying advice he's given to AJ ahead of the rematch. Now, before I go into the actual quotes that TalkSport have reported here, I want to say, out of everyone in this world, some people have done videos. I'm not doing one, but some people have done videos on Klitschko giving AJ advice. I'm not really interested in Klitschko's advice. Yeah, he's alright, but Klitschko never really had what AJ needs. So, although some people think, oh, AJ needs to box like Lennox Lewis. Oh, AJ needs to box like Klitschko. AJ ain't no Lennox Lewis. He ain't no Klitschko. Yeah, that's not who he is. Now, I say that to say this. The one person who, me personally, maybe I'm wrong, but the one person who actually AJ needs advice from, and there's not many of them. In fact, in boxing today, I can probably think of one, and as it happens, it is Chisora, and maybe KSI as well, to be fair. But let's stick with Chisora for now. Chisora is the perfect man to be giving advice, because in my opinion, he's the one who can actually add something to AJ, yeah? Or I've seen things in Chisora which I haven't seen in many fighters today. Chisora reminds me of a throwback kind of 80s fighter. When the going gets tough, he sticks his chin up, or he gets stuck in basically. No matter what, he's happy rather than lose. Like, as a perfect example, I bring it up all the time, but go and watch Chisora versus Dillian White 2. Yeah, instead of lose, scarily enough, he was actually up on the scorecards, despite the referee trying to be all in the videos, P. Diddy style, trying to be all in this, all in that, trying to make this fight about him, yeah, taking points off. You got two 260-pound men fighting. It's a fight, yeah? What do you expect? There're going to be a few elbows. There's going to be a few headbutts. Two big hardback men going for it. Get out of the way, referee. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, Derek Delboy Chisora had 2 points taken off him. Yeah, many fighters would have said, oh, you know what, let me just lose on points then, because I can always complain after the fight, and I'm sure the fans will support me. Let me just get through this fight, and I can moan and complain after. No, not Delboy. Delboy said, I think I'm behind on the cards now, because the referee's taken 2 points away, and Dillian White's the A side. I'm going to go out there and leave it all out there. And lo and behold, he said to himself, it's going to be me or Dillian White tonight. And as it happened, he ended up getting caught. But you can't, who can knock that? Not me. I mean, you never hear me knock that. That there is throwback. In fact, people rant and rave about the 80s and 90s, but who really in the 80s and 90s had that kind of mentality? That there is an all-time great mentality. Literally, outside of the all-time greats, I'm trying to think, there ain't people who have that mentality. Not many people are prepared to put their own chin on the line for the dub. And that there is few and far between. Klitschko, I'm sorry, he wasn't one of them ones. No, that's not a knock on him, but most fighters aren't. Most fighters aren't prepared to do that. Most fighters just want to go home to their wife and kids as such. Which is obviously fair enough, I'm just saying. Chisora, he don't have that switch. He's happy for it to be his last night on earth, to get the win. And it's such a rare commodity. So as I was saying, that's why I put so much... That's why Derek Chisora's advice gets so much clout from the YB. Because it's easy, as an example, I can sit here and tell AJ, oh AJ, you need to leave it all out there. But I've never been in there and done it. Why Chisora giving AJ advice is so valuable is AJ can actually look up to Chisora and say, you know what, I can't say squat about that, because no matter what happens, win or lose or draw, you know, when it comes to the crunch fight, Chisora's willing to go out on his back. And we've seen that time and time again. Or at least more recently we have. He's happy to do that. Leave it all out there. And that's all we can really ask from AJ. Nothing else. Leave it all, no matter what happens, leave it all out there. If you're tired, if you're losing, just go swingers. Simple as that. And if you get caught, you get caught. Go out flat on your back. No in-betweenness. Flat on your back. And at least then, you can say to yourself, I've left it all out there. No, there ain't no middle or in-between goofy stuff going on. Let's cut to the actual quotes now. So it says here, Chisora told TalkSport Fight Night, it's a great match first of all, but we want AJ to win, for boxing to stay alive. He's buzzing for this rematch. He's excited. The way he's talking, even when you're watching his interviews. The way he's stayed in the shadows, just training hard. Fair dues to AJ's team. I told AJ, just do what you do best. Keep it long, make the fight boring, and then take him out in the later rounds. Don't mix up with him because you know he's got fast hands. Don't worry about losing the fight as well. The most important thing is to come back. People forget your loss. It's how you come back. It's going to be amazing. So just enjoy it. Despite him having 9 losses, Chisora concluded that his friend cannot afford to pick up a second consecutive defeat on Saturday. AJ has to win. There's no second gear in this. He has to win this fight. He has to die in the ring. He has to die trying. Because if he don't, do you understand what I mean? Money goes away in boxing for the heavyweights. Money just goes away. He has to win. Now that there, I've got to say, we've heard a few things from Chisora in these quotes. And in fact, let me go back and take it from the top and actually break it down as we go along. So he starts off by saying, it's a great match first of all. Yep, that's fine. But we want AJ to win for boxing to stay alive. Now, me as a YouTuber, trust me, I know I'm an AJ fan in that sense, an AJ fan channel, whatever you want to call it. But ultimately, AJ feeds people that you couldn't even imagine. Boxers, YouTubers, the whole damn lot. There's a reason that LDBC and Deontay Wilder, AJ be feeding his competitors. Yeah? That's what he does be doing. Wilder can't even sell no tickets. All he does is talk about AJ. And he still can't sell no tickets. That's how bad it's got for him. But the fact he's selling any tickets is to do with AJ. And I'm actually feeling this, this AJ fight, because on a serious note, people's livelihoods are on the line here. Now that's got nothing to do with AJ. He couldn't care less about that, and rightly so. But still, a lot of British people don't really appreciate what AJ's done for boxing. A lot of you, man, didn't even know about boxing before AJ. People have to really give, and I do give thanks. I do appreciate that, and I rate that, and everyone does. Eddie Hearn as well, to be fair. Eddie Hearn wouldn't be where he is now without AJ. That's what we do know. In British boxing, world boxing, wouldn't be where it is without AJ. And no, I'm not being funny. Everyone talks about Alvarez, Canelo, but no one. Show me on YouTube or anywhere where there's a community talking about Alvarez every day. You don't see that. All you see is AJ, and then from that you've got the derivatives: Wilder, Fury, off of AJ. Ultimately, that's the bottom line. That's what we do know. Yeah, simple as that. Moving on, Chisora says he's buzzing for this rematch. He's excited. The way he's been talking, even when you're watching his interview. That's what I'm saying, man. AJ's getting that. It's not just me who's noticed it. It's not just us. Chisora himself, yeah? Mr. Chin-Up Swingers himself. AJ's got that bit about him. And it's going to be interesting because it's the first time. The Jarrell Miller fight, we didn't really get to see what happens there. This is going to finish off the story. After that June 1st loss, we are going to see AJ, in my opinion, in his final form. If this fight can't bring everything out of AJ, nothing will. Does that make sense? This is going to be AJ's final form, his best form. It just has to be. Otherwise, well, if you can't bring it out after a devastating loss, you'll never bring it out. Next thing. The way he stayed in the shadows, just training hard. Fair dues to AJ's team. I told AJ, just do what you do best. Keep it long, make the fight boring, and then take him out in the later rounds. Now that's not... yeah, I don't disagree with that, to be fair. Some people have misconstrued my thoughts about AJ. I'm not saying go out there and start swinging. I'm saying, of course, use the jab, bust him up with it. But don't be afraid to see what's popping on the inside. There's nothing wrong with standing next to him and seeing what's going on. Yeah? Catch the hooks. Parry the straight shots. Keep it tight. There's nothing wrong. People are getting... oh, there's no way. AJ can never step foot on... AJ can never go toe-to-toe with Ruiz. Going toe-to-toe doesn't mean putting your chin down and just throwing shots for the sake of it, KSI style. No, going toe-to-toe just means being close to each other. Literally. You can be toe-to-toe with someone and not even throw a shot. Floyd Mayweather done that a number of times throughout his career. You can do that. You don't have to be going wild and being reckless and not being defensively sound. You can literally stand toe-to-toe with someone and just see what they've got to offer. I think it's actually a smart idea early in the fight. Get used to Ruiz. You don't want to, because the other thing about the anticipation, if you go into a fight and your whole training camp, your trainer Rob McCracken has been telling you, oh AJ, don't be going near Ruiz. You must avoid Ruiz at all costs. Oh AJ, don't get caught on the inside. If you've been told that throughout a camp, oh AJ, you better be on the back foot. AJ, you best never be near Ruiz. What happens when you get in the fight and you end up on the inside? All of a sudden, what should have been a normal thing, you end up panicking. Oh my gosh, the thing that I've been training for has now happened. That's why you must prepare, because it's a fight at the end of the day, a heavyweight fight, where both fighters are predisposed to inside fighting. Therefore, it's stupid to think you're going to run around for 12 rounds when you've never done that in your whole career. But get comfortable there. Let Ruiz know. Right. Imagine as an example. Imagine in the first round, Ruiz lets off a combo and AJ just tucks up, catches the shots, and then whatever's afterwards, sticks his head up out of his guard and smiles. Imagine that. Ruiz going to be like, oh, he's learnt now how to catch the hooks, and that's his whole game. Ruiz's combination punching's all well and good when you're hitting people clean, but we've seen De La Hoya on the ropes with Mayweather as an example. Mayweather wasn't doing. Yes, Mayweather has a high IQ, but Mayweather wasn't doing anything like out of this world. It wasn't amazing skill that kept Mayweather safe on the ropes against Maidana or on the ropes against De La Hoya. It was straight up and down defense, high guard, chin down. That's all he did. Honestly, that's all he did. It wasn't no. If any fighter can do is even to be fair. Look at Broner. Broner's now shot, but Broner's he's scared to throw shots. But that said, he's got a tight defense because he's so scared of throwing shots. He's got a tight defense. When he fought Pacquiao, a number of times Broner got backed up, high guard, chin down, and just tucked up. That's what you got to do sometimes. And it's a smart thing to do anyway. Let your opponent know you ain't landing nothing clean. You can throw all them fast combinations you want, but they're not landing. Yeah. Let Ruiz rattle off a combo, stick your head up and smile and march forward again. Let him know that it's not a big deal. What you think's going to happen is not going to happen now. Anyway, it goes on. Chisora says, don't mix it up with him because you know he's got fast hands. Don't worry about losing the fight as well. The most important thing is coming back. People forget your loss. It's how you come back. It's going to be amazing, so just enjoy it. Now, like I said, I disagree with not mixing it up. Well, I understand. Don't go in there and start just swinging trading. But I don't disagree. I think that you should, early in the fight, get used to, like Holyfield, he used to do this loads. Holyfield would be in there with most people, and he'd spend most of the fight next to them. The Burt Cooper fight's a perfect example. Loads of the fights, he'd spend most of the time centre of the ring and see what's going on. And Holyfield was nowhere near as physically strong or as big as AJ, and he was a blown up 175er as such. So AJ, a fully fledged 260-pound man, he shouldn't have a problem, really. Goes on. He has to win. There's no second gear in this. He has to win this fight. He has to die in the ring. He has to die trying, because if he don't, do you know what I mean? That was the best part of this whole lot. Now, like I always say, it's easy for the YB and all of us, man, to sit here and say, oh, AJ needs to die in the ring, but that's my personal advice, like as a armchair don, yeah? I'm sitting here, I'm not doing none of it, but that said, still, if someone was asking for my advice, it would be, for this particular one, in fact, every fight, to be fair, if you want to be known as an all-time great, that's what all-time greats do. Or, to be honest with you, some all-time greats didn't even do that. That's the great thing about it. But if you want to actually differentiate yourself, how to put you in the top of the first ballot of all-time great fighters, if you can learn how to go in there and give it your all. I'm not being funny. Look at people like Arturo Gatti. Arturo Gatti wasn't even an all-time great based on skill or wins or whatever. He was known. He's gone down in history as someone who just knew how to get gritty. So that there in itself, if you can add that gritty mentality with your skills, with your genetics, etc., etc., it just adds to the whole phenomenon. Do you know what I mean? If you can get that mind right and go in there with that never say die attitude, number one, it's going to help you win fights, and number two, It's going to add to your prestige in terms of your all-time great ranking. But yeah, I'll end the video there. Overall, great advice from Chisora. Advice which, that's exactly what I'd expect from Chisora. But only a few days now, man. But yeah, big ups.